welcome to the Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch, here on Big Condo Online. Please like and subscribe and ring that bell. You know, it's all to get your notifications. And this is the special Shakedown editions, you know, because this is where I fill in for my man, Royce Rothschild, and talking to local artists and luminaries of that sort, entrepreneurs and everything. And I'm joined here in the studio. I got my man, Lucid, in the house. How you doing, Lucid?
What's going on, man? How are we? Thanks for getting me on.
Oh, man, no problem, no problem. Lucid is not just a DJ, but he's also a producer, and he's been walking this walk for the past 10 years. And I would love to know about what that journey is all about, you know, because we're going to talk about what you had, like the changes you made in the new year. But first of all, just tell us about, you know, making that decision to go down this road, and for a long time, actually.
So I started DJing when I was in university, about 18. And I was just doing it as a hobby, just a bedroom thing. And then further down the line, I decided, I want to make this my career. You know, it's something that I love. It's my passion. And if I can make money off my passion, then, you know, it's going to be a bonus. So I was working in bars and things at the time. So being around music and nightlife as well, that was also a big inspiration to me. And yeah, I eventually dropped working in the bars to pursue it as a full-time career, and then started working with local artists, started DJing in bars instead of working behind them. And yeah, just went on from there really. And then lockdown hit us, so I've had a bit of a struggle through lockdown, just adjusting and that, but slowly coming out of it, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've all probably been hit by lockdown in various different ways, but I mean, mainly for creatives like ourselves, you know, it must be hard because when everything's shutting down, you know, you probably found it difficult to perform and everything else like that. So do you think that you made the decision to become a producer in lockdown, or did you make that? You made it before then, because you said you had some tracks out and everything like that, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been producing about 4 years, but lockdown really allowed me to focus in on my style and my genre, and allowed me to develop myself properly as an artist. So yeah, it gave me a lot of good time to sit down and think what I want to do with music.
So, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, like, I like to believe that, you know, collaboration is how we get by, you know. And I mean, like, for you yourself, you were telling me that there was a guy who said, hey, look, man, why don't we work together? You know, and now that's moving into a label being launched. So why don't you tell me about how you met up with Tubbs and what you guys are working on?
Yeah, so my guy Tubbs, I met him through lockdown. So I used to struggle networking, and lockdown forced me to network because we wasn't allowed out. So I had to do it all online, and I was introducing myself to people. They were
over Zoom or something?
Nah, just Instagram, just like, you know. I know, one of them jumping in the DMs, but I don't know, just had things that had to be done, man. So, yeah. And then just after Christmas this year, it was, Tubb shouted me, and he was like, yo, seeing what you're doing, making sick moves, blah, blah, blah. How about we collab? So I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. And then,
so was it that, like, he heard some of your beats or anything?
Yeah, we're kind of like the same style. We produce the same style, which is like grime, garage, things like that. So we just got together and was like, yo, let's make a little track together. So we went down the studio, got a little track, a couple of tracks going. And then he was like, I'm going to launch a label. Do you fancy, you know, giving me a hand with the label sort of thing? So we've got the launch night coming up for that on the 29th. So next Thursday, I think. Yeah.
So I mean, what is that, like at the district you were saying, or?
Yeah. The bar's called, the club's called District, just off Jamaica Street, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, like, the thing about it is that sounds like really cool because, you know, what I also thought was interesting is the name of the label, YGM, which is?
You get me?
You get me? All right, man. That's kind of like that's like, yo, Family, you know what I mean? Shout out to my Family boys and stuff like that. So, I mean, I like that, though. You get me and everything. Everybody knows that terminology. But what I thought was interesting when you were talking about the struggle networking and everything, because it is a confidence issue, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely a confidence issue, I think. I think that was just for not being out there for so long as well. I kind of was just... Like when you're out there and you're in the clubs DJing, there's immediate feedback. You know, when you're playing a song, there's that immediate feedback, and It's different when it's online. I just found it hard to adjust at first, should we say, and then I got
Yeah.
it.
Now the thing about it is that like so when you were producing like and tracks, you were going the route like the SoundCloud route.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much SoundCloud is around now, because of the whole streaming, everything's streaming, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everything else like that. But when you talk about you have a particular style, this garage sound, I mean, like up here in Liverpool, don't they like call a lot of that like grime or something like that?
Yeah,
And more London based is more garage. I don't know. You tell me.
yeah. So I think they were both born down in London. Both genres born down in London, early 2000s, say. And I think grime come from garage. Like if you speed it up a little bit and you get some MCs to go over the top of it, then that's when you start getting grime. Like so. Yeah, I just love that sound.
Yeah. No. I dig you. And I mean, pretty much when you were doing that, like probably before the lockdown, you were mentioning like some artists. Now, obviously, I'm old, so you could say people and they go over my head. But I mean, I'm pretty sure our audience out there would know. It's like because you supported several different artists you were talking about, like such as like Wookie and Meeks, yeah, and everything. So tell me a little bit about that, and how that went down.
So Wookie is one of me icons. I've looked up to him for years. He's been a garage legend in the scene since it began, sort of thing. And there was an event on in Kitchen Street.
Oh yeah.
He was the headline act basically. And I got talking to one of the managers, and me and my boy, Reclaw, he's another one of my mates who's producing. We just done a back-to-back set in support of Wookie, and that was like a dream come true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was another good thing. And one of my other mates, he was promoting events. He was doing a bit of event promoting, and he got Meeks down. He's a rapper from Manchester. He put him on in Kitchen Street as well. So I played support for that, and that was another,
Now, what's funny is that, because like you're saying, like, yeah, man, so I've been around, like, Liverpool, Northwest, and all that kind of stuff. And then, I said, yeah, but what about Manchester? Oh, you haven't been there yet.
Yeah, no, I like Manchester. Manchester's a lovely city.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got a very good music scene. So hopefully in the future, it's on the list, maybe I could branch out there too. So.
No, it's just funny, for, like, I mean, for people where to go, yeah, I've been around the Northwest. Well, for you, what is the Northwest? And I think you said, like, I don't know, like Wigan.
Oh, no. No. One of my managers, one time, he moved to a bar up in Wigan, and he was like, yo, come DJ for me up in Wigan. So yeah, I had to go.
I was DJing in Wigan, and what kind of music are we talking about?
It was like commercial radio stuff.
Yeah. It wasn't that grime down in Wigan. No, I don't think so, bro.
No. None of that up there.
You know what I mean? No, I mean, but do you find that difficult because as a DJ, right? Because it's kind of like when they say you have to kind of like you have to know your crowd, read your crowd, and everything like that. So, like, what was kind of like one of the weirdest places you found yourself DJing in? Where it wasn't, because obviously we hear what your love of music is.
One of the weirdest places.
It's like kind of like, oh, I ended up going here into this little place, and it wasn't like I'm going to pull out Meeks.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say it was a weirdest place, but one of my mates, he rented out this bar. It was only like a little bar. For his birthday party, so I was DJing at the party for him, and then the club opened after it, and the club were like, yeah, I might as well just stay on. So I stayed on for the club night. That was like a little that was weird, what I wasn't expecting. Like, so.
Yeah, okay, look at that. I love a guy who could turn a negative into a positive. Yeah. I was really looking at, I ended up in this place, and I had to be playing like Achy Breaky Heart, some country music.
No, one time, I was playing for an agency. I did a bit of work for agency work, and they had me doing weddings, and that was a bit.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it. I do it, but.
So you're eclectic. You could play whatever, right, and stuff like that. So I mean, like, but basically, so when you started making tracks and stuff like that, you said you released a couple of tracks when you found your own style. So I mean, can you give us like an example of what that would be? Because I know you said you got a SoundCloud, but you weren't really up on your Spotify as of yet.
Yeah. So I've got a Spotify coming. Hopefully before the end of the year. I'm going to release a little EP on that. I've got a couple of tracks sorted there already for it. Just need a few more. But yeah, all my earlier sound, they were more hip hop, rap, yeah, more that kind of sound, because I was DJ before I produced, and it was my boy Reclaw who got me into producing, and that's how I kind of started with the hip hop sound and that, and then just developed into me grime and garage. Like when you're producing, I don't know, you learn it. Well, I learn it style by style. You know.
Yeah. I mean, even though you got house, you got so many different versions of it. You know, you got your acid and your techno and all of that. But that's what I mean. You got to figure out what your rhythm is. I mean, because I mean, are you like scratching, mixing, and doing all of that? Did you pull the echo chamber out?
Yeah. I try to. Yeah. So I've never played on vinyl. Vinyl's something that.
Oh my God, no, I love vinyl, bro. I'm old.
I really wish I learned on vinyl, but I don't know. I didn't have it, and I need a collection. I'm trying to start a collection so I can.
Belt drive, man. It's all about, you know.
Technics 1210s.
Yeah,
see, there's things now, and it's like a little Bluetooth device, and you don't need a needle. That is the needle.
I hate that, man.
Yeah.
The Soreto or something like that. You know, you gotta.
Yeah. Technology.
People swear that, look, man, it's the same thing. It's not.
No.
So I mean, like as a beat producer, because like you said, you used to produce beats and all that other kind of stuff. You know, I mean, like this EP that you got coming up, right? So you say you're producing this EP. I mean, this is your EP, not you and Tubbs or something.
No,
like that.
No, solely me and Tubbs. I've got one coming out, but this one is just solely me by myself, and I should be out by Christmas time.
Yeah. So I mean, how many tracks are you into finishing? I mean, is it going to be one of those 4-track EPs or?
No, I'm probably looking about maybe six tracks on it, and it's gonna be all house and garage sort of thing. So like in the past, I've dropped EPs on my SoundCloud, and they've been like a drill EP or more of a hip hop trap EP.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But that was when I was first starting out, sort of thing. This EP is going to be the first one that's uploaded to my Spotify, and I'm going to really have to push it and get behind it, sort of thing. So.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there was another name dropper you had put on there. You know, it's like, there's another one dropping on the floor. Like you said you did a track with Benji Effect or something like that?
Benji Effect, yeah, he's another one of my boys. So I met him through lockdown too. A good friend of mine introduced me to Benji. He was shooting a video one day, and he introduced me to Benji, and then I got into him with that. I met the videographer, I'm also good friends with now, so that was a very good little link up.
Oh, yeah, who was that, man? Shout out.
Trebler.
Yeah. Is that Albert?
Albert, yeah.
Oh, I know Albert. He was here in the studio and everything. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I
nice
met him through lockdown. He's a very good friend of mine now.
Yeah. He was a London boy, but he got a girl up here, and I'm like, all right.
So
see, look at that, man. Small world.
Been doing a little bit of work with him. So
yeah. All right, cool. Well, I mean, that kind of like leads me to that question of like artists that you want to work with and everything. So I mean, you already had said like kind of different people you had done. Worked with and stuff like that. Who's like your dream artist that you want to work with?
Fatboy Slim.
Ooh.
He's
old school.
He's my biggest like house inspiration. But if you could call him house, he just throws parties and that's it. He's just a party starter.
Yeah.
Entertainer for what it's worth, you know. So.
Well, you did say that is one of your dream goals is to play Ibiza or Creamfield.
Ibiza, Creamfield. That's
everybody wants to do that. Yeah, and everything. So now, but if you up there though, bro, I mean, like, how will we know that this is Lucid is in the house?
How will you know?
It's got to be about you, bro. I mean, how we know that Lucid's up there, man?
So there's a lot of artists at the minute, more like techno artists and things like that, but they put and house artists, but they put 110 into the production. And when you go and see their production, they have holograms like floating above the crowd.
There we go.
That's
like what I'm saying. Yeah.
And when I'm at that stage, I'm gonna think down that lane.
Dude, let me help you out, man. I'm a visualist.
Yeah,
you got to do that. You can't have a name like Lucid without having the colors, man.
Yeah, that's
you gotta have
colors.
like the freaking colors, like like that, like purple.
The purple.
You gotta just have them colors up there, man. But like when you just said holograms, that's the move, bro. That's the move.
I'm gonna shout it.
It's that whole shit, right? You up there on the stage and shit, and people should be rocking. They should be on ecstasy. They should be having them glow sticks.
Yeah,
but, you know what I mean? You should be having. Yo, dude, telling you better do it.
So that's the way I want to
make it happen. You know. So I mean, like, I was gonna ask you, because there's a lot of like people out there, you know, there's a lot of like bedroom DJs and, you know, people making beats on their Ableton and stuff on their laps in their rooms and shit, you know. And I was just going to ask you, because of the experience that you've had, right, how can you condense time for the next person, right? So how does one become a producer?
So if you're interested in music and you know that's the path you want to take, start both of them at the same time. I started DJing, and then 4 or 5 years later started producing. I wish I would have started both at the same time.
Nice one, yeah.
Doesn't really have an effect, but I'd probably be more developed in me producing this at the same amount I was in me DJing sort of thing. So it may have been a little bit further in my career in that sense, but yeah, just learn them both at the same time and jump in head first. Just go to the deep end and work outside of your comfort zone, and you know that's how you're gonna develop. So
it's good advice, man. I mean, because like the whole point about it is that everything's at our fingertips nowadays. You know, like you either got the Logic or the Ableton or whatever and all that other kind of stuff. And really, it's just kind of like it's the rhythm of that music that people have to develop in themselves, and it's kind of like you have to make it your own jungle. You get me? And everything like that, and but I think that's what you just said right there is choosing both ways on that path, because then what you kind of do is like, yeah, look, I could either DJ like in the clubs or I could produce somebody's track in the rooms, you know, and I could be doing both at the same time as opposed to one and then the other.
Some people may only be inclined to do the one, but further down the line, you're gonna want to jump on and do the other sort of thing. So.
Yeah. No, definitely, bro. And stuff like that. So, I mean, we know that YGM is launching around the end of the month, you know, here in Liverpool, hitting at the District Club. I'm pretty sure they got all that stuff up on your socials. I mean, how can people find you, Lucid?
So if you go on Instagram or any of the socials, SoundCloud, Facebook, anything, it's at Lucid LVP. And the YGM label, you can find that at ygm.uk on any socials too.
And I mean, like, so with the tracks that you've already released and everything and stuff like that, is there anything like you know, you'd be interested in like doing a video for, or just getting it out there for people to hear? Or
I have thought about that, the EP that I'm bringing out, maybe because I'm doing the visuals and that myself at the minute, and I enjoy that, but that's just one of them things that we were talking before the thing, before the podcast, about you used to do the visuals, but you. Like, it's getting an external person, and then you got to pay that company and things then. So I started doing little bits of visuals myself, but...
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is, it's like when you do it yourself...
You've got to level up, haven't you?
You're not the artist anymore.
Yeah. You've got to get that external to level up, I think, so...
You know what, man? I gotta tell you, because we were talking, because I mean, people who know me, I used to do videos and all that other kind of stuff. And yes, you know, like, you know, years ago, I used to work with the Wu-Tang, which is a name. You know, I still live and die by it. But the point is that, you know, you can't just like get a Wu-Tang video, right? You know, I mean, there's a record label behind all of that, right? Yeah. Money does actually help things. I mean, people think that because they have the computer and the camera and all that, they could do things themselves. But what do you usually see when you see that? And I'm talking about pretty much, you know, a third or a half of videos on Grime Daily. It's always brothers just doing it. They're smoking, the drinking, whatever. I'm just having a good time. I'm like, dude, if you want to throw a party, throw it at my house. You want to throw it at your house. But that's not a video, bro.
You got to invest, haven't you?
Exactly, man. It costs money, man. You know what I mean? You know, but the main thing about it is that what you're saying, what you're playing, all of that matters. But how you see it. Look at that, man. You know, right there in the zigger. Listen, Lucid, man. I mean, I want to thank you for coming in and everything. We had some control issues there, but we got through it.
Yeah, we got
and stuff like that. The struggle is real. But hopefully we're at the end of the struggle, because we're all coming out on lockdown in a week or so. Please. You know, and everything. And look out for Lucid Tubbs. Look out for YGM. You get me? I want to thank you for joining me here in the studio here at Big Condo Online, Lucid. All right. And then Chase Johnson Lynch. And you know what? We're out of here.